Welcome back to The Experience. Today, my guest is Theophile Bourgeois. Thank you for coming on, sir.
Thanks for having me, man.
Theophile and I went to high school together. And how long has it been now, dude?
Almost 20 years we were just painfully doing that math.
Yeah. Like I said, I heard you say that in a YouTube video, and I was like, damn. But I don't feel like we are, because you look great. Like,
Thank
you
you.
look better. I mean, not saying you look bad in high school, but you look better. I guess we've grown into...
I think you grow, yeah. And I always like to think that, you know, you should grow a little bit like that's the goal, you know, get a little better every day. You know, it's always like this,
correct,
you know.
Correct.
But it's funny, like, so I was telling you, I'll put out feelers out there online. I'm like trying to promote a few things right now. I'm like, hey, any local things I could do, put me on some podcasts and stuff. Somebody says Eric's ADHD podcast.
Shout out.
And I heard about you before, and I just never, like, you were on the radar, right?
Yes.
I didn't know.
I've been trying to get on the feed.
Yeah, dude.
Which is hard, the algorithm.
Well, for what it's worth, quite a few people answered with yours, right?
Thank you.
So I look you up, and it's you. And I'm like, I know this. Can we curse on it?
Yeah,
I was like, it's fucking Eric Falgout. I was like, I went to high school with this fucking dude.
Shout out. Hey, dude. It's yeah, it's weird.
So it's awesome, though.
Thank you,
So
man.
it was cool. It was like really easy to get on. Thank you.
Well, obviously, like when you texted
I had an
me.
in.
Yes, yeah. I mean, and it worked out for us tonight because my buddy Josh, my hormone coach, my good buddy, is injured right now, but he will be on the next episode, and you needed this week to promote what you have going on, which you have a lot of stuff going on. So I was like, hey, dude, Theophile's willing to switch. You sure? Positive. And because it worked out. Everything works out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, totally beneficial. Yeah, because I mean, on the short-term thing, we're promoting this big show with my band, Them Old Ghosts, this Friday. So it was very good for us to have the opportunity to meet beforehand. So
correct.
But either way, even if it wouldn't have worked out this week, as I guess this episode unfolds, you'll see there's always something I gotta try and promote.
100%.
You know, but hey, man. But yeah, so
you have a lot going on.
I'm never bored.
No.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
But it's fun, man. Yeah. So tattooing was like.
Yeah, like let's give people some. I'll just let you go, bro.
Where do we begin?
Where you want to start?
Well, it's all started in second grade.
Yeah.
No.
Sometimes.
But yeah, dude, so like I think where we left off, you know, I can't even remember the last time I saw you, but you know, you knew I was tattooing.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Tattooed.
And your work was, I was seeing a lot of people. I'd cut people that was, you know, that's why I mentioned the owl. Because I think that was like a popular thing for a bit.
Yeah.
With a lot of people.
Like,
and I thought it looks great.
It was kind of like, it was jokingly referred to at times as the hipster eagle, which I love. Like tattoos, that's a whole other side talk. Like people have a tendency to poo-poo other people's tattoo ideas. And as a younger tattooer, I would fall into that. But then you grow up and you're like, to each their own, dude. It don't matter. You know, like also, I don't give a shit what you want. Are you paying me?
Correct.
That's cool.
But are you the artist that if somebody wants something so kind of obnoxious and you're like, dude, you're going to hate me after I tattoo this on you. Like, is that? Yeah,
I always took a certain amount of detail and attention to doing the extra work, jumping through the extra hoops to guide them.
Yeah.
And say, like, and not insult them.
Correct.
That was what got me so much business. Cause like just not being an asshole.
Correct.
Instead of saying like, that idea sucks.
Right.
I've watched people just completely run people out. And I'm like, well, no, that's not, I need to get more creative on how do I guide them to a better tattoo experience and a better finished product, because one, it's got my name on it. And two, and I think in any service industry or sales or just dealing with people, like you need to build trust.
Correct.
So if I can tell you, hey, look, that's not going to work as a tattoo, but I can defend why, and here's an alternative solution, then I get your trust and we both get some common ground. Like, all right, we can do like these things, but we got to kill this and this.
Correct.
You know, but because it's not people's job to know what's a good, what can be in a tattoo.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
You know?
A lot of people don't even know. Like they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this and like this all over my arm. And it's like, bro, that's not even possible.
Yeah.
Well,
not
it
everything
is,
works.
Yes. Correct. And it's like your job as an artist to show them like, hey, why don't you think about it like this?
Yeah.
Which, you know, all of my guys have been great. You know, I'm lucky to, you know, a true artist is, like in your video, you're out there putting the fish catching a fish, and like you got real detail before you actually tattooed the fish. I thought that was pretty dope, dude.
Well, thanks, man. So like that, well, to get to that,
Yeah,
so
right.
I was tattooing.
Don't get there yet. Yeah.
No. So we'll get to that. So I was tattooing for, I want to say probably at the time 16 or 17 years.
Nice.
Forget the math, wherever it was. And so a little background: my dad had this huge fishing lodge since I was a kid, and he just kept building it bigger and bigger, and just like he really built it into something incredible.
Yes, he did.
And then he suddenly, like, you know, probably 15, 20 years ago, got into flying seaplanes. And it was always this childhood dream of his to fly. And so he starts flying, and then he starts flying people out to the Chandelier Islands to wade fish.
Right. That's what y'all were doing in the video?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. So this incredible experience, and he made this huge name. Like, it was funny, man. Like, Bill Dance was coming down. Like, yeah, like Bill Dance and my dad were buddies. Like, dude, we have a toilet seat in the lodge still to this day that Bill Dance broke and signed with his hat. Yeah, it's like decor at the lodge. So my dad did it, man. He was like a big dog in that world.
He was living his dream too.
He
which
sure
is
was.
dope.
He was, dude, and he lived his life. It's kind of funny how things happen, because at nearly the same age that I wound up, you know, losing my father, that's what kind of acted as a catalyst for him to do what he did and take the risks and live his life the way he did. My grandpa, my papa Theophile, he died, cancer got him. He was 58 years old. Wow. So my dad at the time was in a refinery and was like, I'm around all these chemicals, and it just got to him. Yep. He was already fishing all the time, and he didn't even think about that being a career path. And he just had this like cosmic shift of like, life is short. Right. I better do what I want to do. Right. So that motivated him to go down that business. Yeah. So fast forward 25, 30 years down the line, he built it, he did it. And unfortunately there was an accident, and he went down the plane, and he passed away from it. And there were 2 people with him. Thank God they were not. Wow. Yeah. So it was, but suddenly I'm an only child. Okay. This is all.
Did not know that.
Comes to me. Now, I grew up in this industry. I've been a licensed guide since 2010, but that's not, I've tattooed and play music. Correct. Fishing is fun for me, being on the water, being out in the bayou, but still to this day, I don't guide unless I really, really have to. Right. Because
did he ever push you to do that?
Yeah. And they push in the sense of like, hey, it's here for you. Right. You know, but it's like, you got to be passionate about that. Being a fishing guide and being a fisherman is 2 totally different things. Like, it's work, man. Yeah, dude. You know, so it's crazy. So yeah. So, you know, suddenly I found myself with this crazy question of like, how do I carry on my dad's legacy, and how do I push forward my own identity at the same time? And I immediately sold the tattoo shop because I knew what I had to do. I knew that I could come back, but right now the mission changed. Right. It was like, oh my God, I've got to keep this thing alive. Yeah. And so that kind of, it was like 5 years ago it happened. It was August 18th of 2019. So dude, he passes away, and I'm sure, like, I don't even have time to grieve, like, to even process this. Just going through this whole, like, now I'm suddenly responsible for this empire. Yes. You know, 20 families depend on me. Right.
And it's the biggest in Lafitte.
Yeah. And I, you know, like, it's a huge operation, but it was very well established. We have a great team in place. So, and also everybody, I was around. Like, every morning I'd have coffee with my dad and watch him, see him off on the plane and all. But so suddenly I found myself like, what am I doing here? Like, this whole identity crisis. Right. I'm used to tattooing and going to tattoo conventions and whatnot, and
playing music.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, okay, so now not only do I have to figure out, like, put grief on the back burner, like, you figure out what you're going to do. And it was very difficult. And then, so fast forward a few months, just as I'm like, all right, I like took my artistic vision to the website, the branding and everything. I'm like, I'm going to make a big go of it. And like, that spring was like, all right, here's who we are. Like, we're back, you know, whatever. Really trying to put the best foot forward. Correct. COVID wipes off the entire books for the whole year, because our our business is groups. Correct. You know, so it just was like shut down. Yep. Then that fall, as things start looking better, Hurricane Zeta like wipes out. I'm pretty sure a tornado hit and wiped the back porch off the building, and it completely like just took the whole back porch and slammed it onto a patio. Wow. We were inoperable. We lost our fall season. So then that following year, we had a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. following fall, Hurricane Ida.
Yep.
6 foot of water in the lodge. The entire first story is just completely inundated. And it's like, what are we going to do? Like, but throughout all of this, what I learned was like to shift my mind and say, all right, one, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That so much shit can go wrong, but at the same time, very quickly, and I made it a very active mission to find the positive.
All right.
Like, hey man, I got my health, my wife, my 2 sons, everyone's healthy. Shit could be worse.
Yeah.
None of this, all of this is just an accessory.
Correct.
It doesn't matter.
Nope.
That's all that matters. So find that silver lining. And dude, did I get frustrated as fuck every day?
Yeah, bro.
Absolutely. And stressed out. I didn't have gray hair, you know? But I saw it as like this strange, crazy opportunity to step up and find this strength that many people don't get to find within themselves. Like, I'm such a different person through all of this than I ever would have been had this not happened. Yeah. So 3 months after Hurricane Ida, we started elevating the lodge.
Okay.
Like, and that's a federal program, but the building's so old. It's a 100-year-old schoolhouse. Now it's over 100-year-old. Wow. So it's the Barataria Elementary School. That was like kindergarten through 8th grade in our community. So these guys dig under the lodge for like 3 months, dude. They're trenching under the lodge. I wouldn't put that job on my worst enemy. You know,
it's rough.
People talk about they took our jobs, but guess what?
You don't want that one.
They had, nobody was like jumping at the bit to take that job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like somebody's going to do it. And I would say them boys was working, you know? So anyway, long story short, they go to raise the building up and it's a 5,000 square foot print, you know?
Wow.
It's 2 stories. So it's 10,000 square foot building. It gets up 8 inches and the whole slab fails, starts cracking all over. Dang. So now all the work that we had done cleaning up after Ida, now they got to cut the whole building from the slab and cut through the walls. So we had already put rock, electric, plumbing, all this stuff back on the walls. Wow. We was like rebuilding. Right. Cutting through it to put I-beams through the whole building and raise it up. Wow. And then build a floor while it was up in the air. It was just crazy. Crazy. If you go on, if you look up Cajun Vista Lodge or NewOrleansFishing.com, that's us. Shout out. And yeah, so it's all out there. I documented the story. So like just to let people know and also to like keep interest. Like, because all of our clients, like, they could have just abandoned ship and went somewhere else, you know? Right, right. So it was... How
can people find that? Is there a website, a YouTube, or like for that?
So all of that. So New Orleans Fishing is like our just main website, but it links to our Instagram. But on Instagram, it's Cajun Vista Lodge, all one word. And if you dig down enough to 2021, you'll see the craziness that was Hurricane Ida. And, you know, now that's also a thing right now. If you do follow along with us, I am putting together something that's a good segue to the hurricanes that just recently hit Florida and North Carolina. I got a lot of buddies in both of those places. Okay. So we're doing our part to raise money to get them supplies, you know, so I'm raffling off fishing trips and like tattoo gift cards and the community, because Lafitte needed that. And a lot of people came through to help us for Hurricane Ida. So I feel like it's like my karmic responsibility to return that favor. So please follow the lodge, Cajun Vista Lodge, and I think my handle is up there. So I'm going to be posting about it. Yes. But yeah, so and that kind of brings us to the concept for Renegade is the web series that I showed you last night. So the first episode of that is out now. And what that is really like my answer to how do I push forward and carry on a family legacy. So my dad's work was not in vain. Right. But how do I tie in my identity? You know, and I had this time of like trying to, you know, what, man, do I try to be my dad? What, like, it was a weird thing.
It's a weird order.
Yeah.
To take.
And I've heard it put, I think it was Freud that said it. I'm not sure, but there's a quote out there that you're not truly a man until you lose your father. And I felt that. Damn. Heavy, man. And it changes you, man. And it's just like suddenly, because you know, when your dad's still around, that's still your dad. Like no matter how old you are, your parents are still your parents. Correct. So there was this craziness, but there was this whole like trying to understand, like, man, what do I do? Right. And I found myself like
really normally as your dad.
Yeah, you know, and just I really leaned into, you know, you're not sure what to do, how to handle. I'll never forget like he passed away on a Sunday. And on a Friday, we had 40 people coming into the lodge. And I had to walk into that lodge and welcome them. They were really good. Shout out to Mr. Tom.
Shout out.
Mr. Tom with Bumper to Bumper Auto Parts, one of our best. Man, he's such a gem. He shares like every band post, everything I do. Dude's a gem. But he calls and he's like, look, we understand if y'all need y'all space, but we also want to support y'all. So we're good if y'all are good. We're still coming. I said, man, come on. But to get in that dining room with 40 people, as I'm just like,
it's like nothing just happened.
I'm in a different world. Why am I even here? And I'm even just saying that, hey, I'm Captain Theophile Bourgeois felt strange and wrong, even though all those words are accurate. I'm a captain. I'm Theophile Bourgeois. But my dad,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
It took a long time to not feel weird about that. But to walk into that room and address these guests and be the surreal moment of like, man, he's gone and I've got to do this. And this is crazy.
Do you feel that like the pressure of like needing to take over his legacy? Like, do you feel like no matter what, do you feel like you kind of got stripped away from like your life goals? Or like you were saying in the video, how can I segue what I'm doing with my dad's legacy?
Yeah.
But in a sense of like, you just went straight to it, dude. Like you sold the shop, you did all those things. Like, did you ever feel like, man, I didn't get to finish what I was starting? Or do you feel like this is a whole new journey?
New journey.
Yeah.
New growth. Extremely thankful for what, it's a weird way to say it, but I'm thankful for it. The worst thing that ever happened to me was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because again, you don't realize what you're capable of until you have to find out. So yes and no on that point. But I always kind of operate in this because I have my foot in so many different things.
I was going to say, dude, you do a lot already.
I kind of always, so I'm used to this, like, all right, well, I'll put this on hold for a moment.
Gotcha.
And so that Renegade, that's my answer to it. Like, okay, how do I do this?
Right.
So it's basically the creative process and the outdoor world, and how does nature, how does the outdoor world space inform people's art? And so the first episode was my art, right? You know,
it was amazing.
So thank you. So we went out and
I learned a lot.
Took the plane to the Chandelier Islands, and I want Renegade to be like if Anthony Bourdain with No Reservations and Steven Ranella with Meat Eater and like Miami Ink maybe kind of like just took a road trip.
You showcased a different side of that world
that
a lot of people don't get to see.
Thanks.
And like what your dad built and like the team, like I said, because now this is your team with the team you already had, right? Because it's like, I was like, wow, man, like you're taking on a big fucking responsibility, but like I don't know, dude, it just looks like you fit there already.
Thanks, man. Well, and that's the thing, like I grew up in it, but I have to remind myself, like imposter syndrome is real. Well, it's big, man. Yeah, so man. Like you look
fake until you make it.
Exactly. And you look on the outside and you're like, why do we even let these foolish doubts into our mind? But I think it's like that humility that we need. Yeah. But you got to dial it in. You got to dial it back. Because like, you don't want to walk around thinking you're awesome. Correct. But you don't need to walk around shitting on yourself. Yeah.
Well, it's pride and ego, bro.
Yeah. You know, and I think, but so back to the question you asked is very, very smart and very good question. And it's something that I always like kind of grapple with and think about. And Renegade is my answer to that in another way as well. Because when I sold the tattoo shop and I moved, now I lived in my town we grew up in already. Correct. But I spent half my time in the city. So I got this mix, like a good 50-50 of like culture and new experiences and you know, like broadening my world experience, right? And back to like we're talking about like growing who you were from high school to now, you know, and it takes sometimes putting your foot in your mouth to be like, I don't want to feel that again. I just, you know what I mean? So anyway, what I lost by selling the shop and moving back down to the hometown 24/7 was the interaction with other artists, creative people, just whoever. Right. So this was like, well, I'm going to make this every episode. I'm going to get together with someone who I feel is a renegade. The show is called Renegade.
Love it.
Thank you.
That's what this episode is going to be called.
I love it too.
Shout out.
And so Renegade is a song for my band, Them Old Ghosts. And that's a whole other thing. We're all over the place. But my band, Them Old Ghosts, it's original Southern soul rock and roll. I love writing music, so this is my huge baby. But Renegade was a song I wrote in the absence of my dad and my parent. I lost my dad and his brother in less than a year.
Wow.
And that was my two dudes, man. That's like who I base myself off of in so many ways. Like, it's my role models.
Correct.
So suddenly faced with mortality, the fragility of existence, I wrote this song that I wanted to be a roadmap for my two sons in the case of my absence and how to navigate life. Just like, here's a roadmap, man. Here's what I would want you to know if I couldn't have the time to tell you naturally as life went on. Right. So, you know, Renegade's always something that's just stuck in with me, and just like betting on yourself and living life by your own rules, right. You know? And so the guests have to be people that I think are renegades, you know? So the second episode, which isn't out yet, we just filmed, was a local knife maker. He's an Army Ranger. Nice. Now he's out the Army. Now he's making knives. So I pull cypress logs out the swamp and I'll build all the stuff for the lodge, build cabinets and stuff. But anyway, I was like, I want to make a knife with the handle. So let's make a knife together. Dude. So we went out and did that. And we just shot the third episode last weekend, where I invited this band, Taylor Honeycutt. Mm-hmm. Shout out Taylor Honeycutt. Yeah, they were, dude, I just ran into them at one of their shows, opening up for Whitey Morgan, and sitting around at the merch table. Shout out. And just, you know, sometimes you just got to shoot the shot, man.
Yeah, dude.
And like, hey, dude, I want to invite y'all down to the lodge. And then subtly, like, send them the episode, the first episode. I'm like, I want y'all to be a part of it. Yeah. And I didn't even tell them I play music.
It was beautiful.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
I keep giving you your flowers, but I'm like, dude, it was
I'll take them, man.
Very inspired.
We worked hard on it. And I think it's, you know, sometimes even with all that stuff, dude, even with all those things happening, the band's doing well, the lodge is doing well, this web series is out. You know, it's kind of crazy when you even allow doubt, and sometimes, like, I'm not doing enough.
Well, I think that's like every artist, right?
It's the most toxic thing, and that's something big that I'm working on. Like, I'm listening to this book right now, Slow Productivity, and I feel like the dude's just talking to me. I feel attacked.
Yes.
But so, you know,
it's not being attacked. It's hearing what you need to hear, because we don't like to be told like we're not doing something, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I know already. But like, it's like, do you? That's the pride and ego, I think.
Right.
The ego.
When I think, like, what you got here, it's like, sometimes we don't give ourselves any chance to just rest. Yeah. And it's like, if I'm resting, I should be doing, and I could. My therapist told me, don't should on yourself and never masturbate. And I just started cracking up. I was like, what, dude? I was like, that's hilarious and like awesome. Mom joke, but also profound. Yeah. Because like, how many times I should be doing something. I should be like, and you just like, can I just like relax and enjoy something?
Correct.
So
because you need that also. Yeah. Like we were talking about earlier, balance. You know, as like with you, this takes a lot of work and effort and background people, and you know, that make it all run. And you know, you could drive yourself crazy with all the shit that you're thinking of while it's going on. And sometimes you just got to chill. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Take a break. You got to balance.
Yeah.
It's hard to find.
Yeah.
But, and the thing now, it's like, you know, social media makes it really strange, and it's so unhealthy and necessary at the same time, because it's
a double-edged sword.
Yeah, man. You got to, like, as a creative, you got to, you know, you conceptualize the thing, then you make the thing. Now, making the thing's not enough. You got to promote the thing. And then the structure of the method that we promote the thing, social media, if it doesn't perform well, then you base your worth off of it. And it's so dangerous. And you got to, like,
it's stupid.
Not allow that. And I got to always remind myself, like, that doesn't mean this isn't a good song. That doesn't mean this wasn't a good tattoo or a bad episode or whatever. Yeah. Because everyone's competing for your attention.
We're wanting to see the likes.
Oh God, yeah. And the external validation.
Yeah.
You know, and that's tough. But as an artist, you do it, you want an audience, you know, and I'd be lying if
you want people to appreciate your work.
Yeah.
All the effort you put into it.
Right. The fight.
Bro.
It's the fight. And, you know, like you want, you know, sometimes like making the art is fun, but sharing the art, having the art relate with anyone and just connect with people. That's what you want.
Correct.
We're tribal, man. We want to be part of the tribe.
Yeah.
And the technology is like a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I'd like try to make myself promote in ways outside of social media, and it's like, boy, that's hard.
Yeah. Well, you know, because everybody's on their phone now. So it's, unless they're watching it through that, it's like, you know, for the most part, you know, people don't even look up anymore.
Yeah. I'm thinking about renting a blimp.
Yeah.
No one would see it.
Hey, man, well,
no one's looking up.
Put some fucking speakers on it, sucker. And but yeah, it is. It's funny how like you can be nobody today, and then tomorrow your media pops off, and it's like boom.
Yeah.
And that could be pretty dangerous also.
Yeah. Well, I just listen. So shout out to Stale Cracker.
Shout out.
I'm listening to his journey, man. And that's cool. Also, I feel like now you've got like this kind of like Cajun thing going on here. So who's
dude, everybody's welcome here.
I love it.
Yep. Everybody and anybody is for this podcast.
I'm happy to be your second, as far as like another Cajun dude on this podcast.
Yeah. I've let's see. We had your episode 60. And
no shit.
But Stale Cracker was like the first real, and he's from Labadeville, but
I never met him, but I love the guy.
It's great to have a homie from Lafitte, man, because it's like, when I tell people like, oh, that's where my parents live, and they're like, oh, are you from Lafitte? I'm like, I'm not from Lafitte, but like everyone that's from there, like you kind of know the difference.
Enough time there.
Well, for sure. But like, a lot of people don't realize it's such a small island, you would say, but it produces big, everything. I mean, seafood, and like people just don't realize the culture. And I feel like, I mean, I just moved out of there, man, a couple weeks ago, and I just feel like
you were living there.
Well, I went through some things, and I was living with the folks, and until I bought my grandmother's house, and so I was living there for almost 2 years, man.
I could have seen you at the grocery store, and
yeah, dude. Oh, well, I kind of lay low a lot, man. It's been a crazy 2-3 years, but everything works out the way it's supposed to. But I just, like, I was running on the bridge the last weekend, last Sunday. Me and Juice used to do that.
Come on.
And David Fournier, shout out.
Shout out, my boy.
Yeah, dude. And he showed me all that, him and Matthew Rutherford, shout out. And it's like, you're running over.
Shit, you mean Quarrel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. Yep.
I think I tattooed Matt a couple times. Shout out, Matt.
I think so. And running on that bridge and just seeing like that development of Lafitte, you're like, man, people don't get to see this, but like, this is my house. Like, it's cool, and I'm glad that like what you're doing, it's like you're trying to like bring, and that's what Stale Cracker's doing. He's trying to bring people back to New Orleans. He's trying to show the world the Cajun culture, and like I never even thought about that, because I was like, man, this dude's on to something, and I think that's dope, dude, that you're doing that. So more of y'all need to like trying to bring everybody on, dude. Whatever I could do.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. Stale Cracker, you on my list for people I want to have on the show. So I'm gonna get at you. I think we got some mutual friends.
Yeah, I'll link y'all up.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
He's a great dude, and as you could see about his story, it's he's a real one.
I respect it. So, and I think, but like he's doing, and like you said, to your point, like with Lafitte, and that's, I'm there, man. Like my home, my family, everything I've known is there. We're outside of levee protection. We got our ass whooped in Ida, but we got a young mayor. Timmy, is doing a great job.
Shout out Timmy.
Yeah, dude, and he's a close friend of mine. And what we do with our business at the lodge is just sharing our way of life with people. Right. So the Cajun way of life is our stock and trade. It's like, hey, come. I left the lodge. I went grab my guitar out of the building I rehearsed in. It's above the bayou.
Nice.
And I got like 12 people. This little family vacation they took at our lodge, and I love it, man. I'm talking to them, and I always tell the guests, I'm like, y'all could have spent y'all money anywhere, man. Y'all could be at Disney World, wherever. It don't even matter. And y'all chose to come here in Lafitte, Louisiana, and it means the world to me. Like, you guys are paying my bills. Y'all feeding my children and feeding more than 20 other families.
Yeah.
And we're just sharing. Yeah, man. And it's so cool to be able to share our little slice of the pie. And with Renegade is, I'm hoping to keep building that and also advocate, because what I realized very quickly is like my list of guests is just pulling from Louisiana. Let's shrink it down even more. Just pulling from Lafitte. People are like, did you know this guy there was a guy that made violins that passed away? Huh. He made fiddles, and I wish I knew about him before he passed away. In Lafitte, he'd go to Cacharas and play his fiddle. Ray Griffin just posted it. Shout out Ray Griffin, Cacharas. Shout out. I had no idea. Huh. So it's like, how many of these really incredible, awesome characters, and I know a few, and I got my list of them, but how many more do I not know and thinking I know everything about my own town? Right. That's not big.
Right.
There's so many more renegades, but I want to highlight that. I want to advocate for this place, because it's like, hey man, you know what? If I'm gonna bear down and stay in this place and fight, it's a fight.
Right.
It does not raise boys. I'll tell you that. No. My two young men are men. I'd put them up against a lot of grown men I know, and that's why I stay there and I fight, because it raises them right. They've faced adversity. And I want to share that. I want to put eyes on that place to have young people invest in this town.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. Dude, I mean, like we're 30 minutes peaceful. South of New Orleans. We're 45 minutes from an international airport. And we're an entirely different world.
Yeah.
This morning I was
across that bridge.
I was fishing with my wife and my dog this morning, dude, taking a little puppy drum off. Like we didn't smoke them this morning. I'm sorry, baby. Yeah. Okay, but we had a good time.
Right, dude. I mean, and it was a beautiful morning.
It was. Dude. And that's the thing. I'm like, it's about the memories. I got fish in my freezer. I got some fish I caught Tuesday in my fridge. I don't need meat.
Right.
I need memories with my wife.
That's it.
She don't care if we got a box of fish, but that mentality.
Well, we're providers, right? So we want to make sure that we, And
I got to pull up at the dock with my captains who are paid assassins.
No. Next episode.
They pros, you know what I mean?
For sure,
so
dude.
I'm gonna pull up and be like, guys, today it was about the memories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you ate shit today, huh?
Memories aren't gonna pay the bills.
That's what I told my guests. I was like, that's why y'all fish with them and she fished with me. She ain't a paying guest today. We just out there. We went out at like 9 o'clock in the morning, but have a good time, man.
Yeah.
Catch a few. It's all good.
It looked very peaceful out there, dude. When I was watching the video and like how you brought you're
on the islands,
Yeah, was the captain brought you out there? Well, the guy that like flies the
he's the pilot, so he flies.
Gotcha, that flies the
Yeah. So once we get in the water, we're equals.
Yeah, it's wild.
I can't fly the plane, right? Like
yeah. So I thought you was going to.
No. I was considering it, but that's a whole other story. But I think the plane is
a lot of hours.
Oh my God, the money, the time, the liability, it's crazy. But I don't know how to fly a plane.
Yeah.
Actually, I could fly the plane, taking off and landing.
Correct.
Not so much.
Yeah.
But it's a cool experience, man.
Yes.
It's wonderful. So yeah, you get out there and you're just walking around. You wouldn't know that you're south of Mississippi, Louisiana. It's just another world.
Yeah, because it literally looks like you can't see any land, and y'all are just in like mid-calf of water, a little deeper, a little shallow.
Yeah, kind of
like, damn, dude, it's
incredible.
Yeah.
It's a bucket list thing, and it unfortunately, like I've recently had to like pull the plug on that part of the operation because it just, when my dad was operating it, it was all the money was in house. I've got to pay a pilot and this and that. Like it just don't add up.
Right.
Ain't making dollars, don't make sense. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So, but happy to have done it. And I tried for 5 years to carry on that part of my dad's legacy. And again, back to like trying to, say be him or whatever it is. I initially, when he was gone, thought of, okay, if I don't keep everything the same, it's tiny failures.
Yeah.
But now a little time, a little bit of highway in the rear view, you got a little more clarity.
Yeah.
And you begin to be able to let go of things and say, all right, well, we did our best. And it's not for lack of trying. And we also still rebuilt this entire lodge and the business is booming. Small
victories.
Yeah, dude. And it's I think he would be incredibly amazed and proud of the place the way it is. And, my wife and kids are right there with me. It's so cool, dude. Like when I love the summer because our kids are working at the lodge with us.
That's what's up, dude.
My wife was a nurse, like when my dad died. And so she tried to stay, like we were like, I don't want to like mess this up and we shouldn't work together, you know? But then it just became like apparent, like I need you, but don't feel like you need to quit. I don't want you to like put your dreams on hold, but if you want to come, I want you to be here. And it also opens up.
Well, yeah, because you need her too. I mean, you're a team.
Big time.
Yeah.
Bro, we codependent.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
it's crazy.
You took a vow,
Dude, she's such a G. One thing I told her the other day, I said my favorite thing about her is she's just about it.
Yep.
No matter what. Like pulling mattresses out of a water, like mud-soaked fishing lodge, never getting to do her nail. Like she can do herself up, get dolled up and be beautiful, but she's sanding shit in the shop with me, building stuff to rebuild this lodge, pulling mud-soaked shit out the lodge. Like never want, like she'll just kind of like do that. Wow. But she does it. Yeah. Like she does not. They ain't no thing. She's like, I don't do that. Like she's a soldier. Like she's right there with me.
She does what it takes.
And our sons see that. And back to Lafitte, and that's why I'm okay living there, because I know I'm raising men, and I'm more of a man than I ever would be if I wasn't tested that way. And I think like that's like the closest thing I can say to like a military service that I always kind of regretted not having gone into some branch of the military.
Right.
And this experience is like, that was our fucking boot camp. like in life. Like we got to have that experience, and it made men out of all of us, you know, dude. Even my wife.
Every single one of y'all I met from there, I was like, y'all are built different, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean? And we're proud of it, you know, but we want to welcome, but we also welcome all of y'all, dude. We want everybody down there.
Well, not only that, it's like, you know, when I went to school there, you know, what, mid through 11th grade almost, it's like, I got to see a whole nother side of like life on the bayou. Yeah. You know, because, I was like 8 minutes away in Marrero, which they kept calling me the kid from up front. But realistically, I was like, dude, y'all grew up doing crazy shit like this. I would go fishing there with my stepdad every weekend, but we would drive over there. But like y'all lived it. Like your backyard, you can go get some fish. Yeah. You know, and it's just, and everything else they got in the bayou. And it was just, it was cool because y'all were fearless. Yeah. So like, and if shit like popped off tomorrow, y'all are going to be okay. Everybody else, they you know, that can't fish or don't know how to hunt. You
feel good about that.
Yeah, dude. And that's a thing that I feel like people are losing. You know, especially like this future generation of kids that aren't learning that. Yeah, dude, it's wild.
And look, dude, my kids, you know, they got all the technology and stuff, but we say, hey, look, let's set it aside right now. They go, my 15-year-old son is fishing a tournament all weekend with his buddies.
That's what's up.
And he launches, dude. So your point, you were saying you lived up front and would come down. I was the same way. We didn't move down until I was 14. Okay. But same thing. I had a camp. My dad, like every weekend we were down there, and he was trying to build himself to where he could buy property in Lafitte. Yes. Nice. So I was kind of like that half breed as well. Okay. So me at 14 and my son at 14, two different creatures, bro. That dude's a man.
He's homegrown.
Bro, yeah. The difference is incredible. I had to
We're transplants. Yes, he's homegrown.
Yes. And I still always feel like a slight outsider. To this day, my buddies from high school, you know, I hang out with like twins. Just shout out Dustin and Rusty.
I seen one at a dollar store the other day.
Yeah, bro.
It was Dusty, I think.
But I'm like they are just they're like 14 years ahead of you always. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Well, because they've been trawling since they were fucking like 6 or whatever. And it's just a different mentality. Like, you know, most grown men go on a boat to go fishing. These dudes are out there like catching shrimp, catching fish, but like by the masses. I mean, that's a hard working job.
Yeah. Or you get
builds character, right?
Yeah, dude. And you get they'll go swim under the boat to get a crab trap out the wheel. I'm like,
fucking wrestling alligators, bro.
You win. Yeah. Oh yeah. Bro. You win the Cajun game. Oh, my you know, there's levels to it. To a lot of my friends and family, like I'm doing the most crazy shit. But I tell them all the time, I'm like, bro, you don't even understand. I got lines I ain't crossing. One of them is jumping in and swimming and dancing with an alligator. Nah. Shout out Hambone.
Yep. Shout out
crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I ain't trying to do that. I need my fingers, bro. I'm trying to play the guitar and piano, man.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God. But there's levels to it.
Speaking on the music, man, I know we were talking earlier in the lounge about like a piece you wrote, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Renegade, and that song that kind of was, again, the catalyst for the whole project, and just kind of a, you know, an anthem for like the way of life, you know, and what I want my sons to know in my absence and things like that. So yeah, I'd love to play it for you.
This is sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
You're preparing them because I guess now, since your dad passed unexpectedly, it kind of prepared you to prepare them in case.
Exactly.
I like that, man.
Life is short, man. Yeah, and nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah. Tomorrow is not promised.
And it's so shitty. You know, I kind of really suffer from a lot of just the overthinking, and I find myself not in the moment a lot. And I do a lot of work to remind myself and snap myself out of it.
Present.
Yes. And it's difficult because how many times you're just somewhere else? You're thinking, you're in your thoughts, you know, and, you know, so every day truly is a gift. And as all the whatever difficulties I've faced in my life, I still never feel like, dude, look at the news, man. You know, like no matter what, all the shit I've been through is nothing.
Correct.
It's nothing, dude. How could I feel sorry for myself? That's the dangerous shit. I never one time ever fucking felt sorry for myself because I knew plenty people got it worse. And it's like when you see, I'm sure you could think of somebody right now.
Dude, 100%.
I mean, like, how you doing? You learn, there's people, I don't ask how you doing. I say, what's up? Because they're going to tell you how they're doing. And it's going to be fucking crying about nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, you complaining and you arguably probably one of the most lucky people in the world when you really look at it.
Right.
You know, just living in Louisiana or in America.
We're not grateful.
And no, we're spoiled.
Yep.
You know. So anyway, but that mindset. And I think just like guarding the mind, and that's actually one of the lyrics in that song, is like, guard your mind.
Cool.
And just keep that thing sharp, and don't let the bullshit in. Don't let the negativity in, the whatever. Just, there's so many different negative voices that could pull you in the wrong direction. If you get down that negative thought pattern, like, it's dangerous, man. Like just, and it ain't about like hustle culture and like fucking, you know, muscle through it. Because I believe, dude, I talk to therapists every Friday, man. And I'm a huge advocate for that, because I think more men need therapy.
I've been in therapy for 9 years, bro.
There you go.
Saved my life.
Yeah.
Literally.
And so music and art, like, I have these therapeutic outlets, but you know, when my dad passed away, that's when I started.
Yeah.
And I said, like, cause I knew I could sense the stress on me. And I'm like, before, I didn't want to let it like boil over.
Correct.
I was like, I need to get in therapy because this is a heavy shit I need to work through. There's a lot in my life going on. So I just stayed in it.
Therapy teaches you how to deal with those emotions, because we all have them, you know, and a lot of people just don't know how to compartmentalize them or how to deal with them, how to work through them. So for everybody out there that doesn't believe in therapy, you should look into it, because it does work. Do
it, man. And I can't, dude, if one person listening to this is on the fence or is unsure about it, or if you're like ashamed of it, fuck that shit. Yeah. Do it. Go, you deserve it. Yeah. Like, you deserve to be the best version of yourself. I'll tell you that right now. You deserve to be fucking happy and loved, and yeah, go do it, man. Go do it. Girls too, all of y'all. Everybody, go to therapy right the fuck now. Yep.
It saved my life, man. Before you play the song, because we're getting close on time, man, do you want to kind of tell everybody like the show that's going on? Oh, yeah. Because you know, that way we got...
Now's the time I plug all my stuff. So big thing we've got going on, what was with my band, Them Old Ghosts. We're a Southern Soul rock and roll band. We're putting together this huge Halloween party this Friday, October 18th at Toulouse Theater in the beautiful city of New Orleans. Used to be the old One-Eyed Jacks. It's Toulouse Theater. Man. Nice. So I didn't want to do, you know, just a show. Usually rock and roll shows are just 3 bands and then it's done. So I wanted to create an evening that I could kind of say, this is the only spot you need to come to this night. So it's a Halloween thing. So Costumes Encourage. I got Roxy LaRouge and Big Deal of Burlesque are going to open the show. We got 3 different burlesque acts. We got Roxy LaRouge, Vivi Noir. Juju plays with fire. So she's a fire act. Wow. Then we got Old Heavy Hands, some buddies of mine who are also tattooers from, I'm going to mess this up. Sorry, guys. North Carolina or South Carolina. Sorry about that, bro. Guys. I love you.
I do it all the time.
Old Heavy Hands, but they're great. And I've actually never met them, but we've been talking for years. So I'm looking forward to that. Then we've got Gal Holiday and the Honky Tonk Review. And then Them Old Ghosts. So it's called Fête des Fantômes, which is French for Festival of Phantoms or literal ghost party. Hell yeah, dude. So being that our name is Them Old Ghosts, Halloween's kind of our season, man. So I wanted to put together a night. Oh, and also, after we go off, so the show doesn't have to end, we've got Casey Chaos spinning classic rock vinyl. So we got rock and roll DJ after. So I wanted it to be like, they ain't nowhere else you need to be that night.
Tonight's the night. Just come here.
So this coming Friday, October 18th, Toulouse Theater, please come and have a blast with us. We're looking forward to it. We worked really hard on putting this thing together. So thank you for letting me come and promote it.
I appreciate you coming, man.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks. I'm happy. I'm glad that someone said look you up, dude, and that it was you. I can't believe it.
It's the universe, man. It's the inner, you know.
I love it.
You're putting out the good vibes and the good energy, and you're doing the right thing. And
thank you.
I feel like ever since I started doing that, I just started attracting the same energy. So it's the feeling's mutual. Iron sharpens iron.
That's right.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. You
well, thanks again.
Appreciate you, bro. You want to play that little song for us, bro?
I'll play a little ditty. Son, sit down and look me straight. Listen close to what Daddy's saying. I'm your guide to this human plane. I'll carry you with me, I'll keep you safe. Said, son, don't you ever change, but don't you stay the same. Don't let your pride feed the fires of rage. Know when to fight, when to walk away. Respect your mama, protect the son. Oh, 'cause no one loves you like she has done. Mind your anger and guard your tongue, 'cause the devil's kiss, it's a wicked one. And boys, don't you be afraid. No, just face your life like a renegade. And boys, don't you be afraid. No, just face your life like a renegade. Guard your mind, keep the wolves away. No, you're not a heathen if you don't pray. They say hate resides in the laps of fools. Oh boy, keep your temper, don't lose your cool. So one day you'll have bills to pay. Don't surrender, don't play it safe. Sell your pills to keep you enslaved. But boy, touch the plant and you'll meet the cage. And boys, don't you be afraid. No, just face your life like a renegade. And boys, don't you be afraid. No, just face your life like a renegade. No, just face your life like a renegade. Just face your life like a renegade.
I feel like I just witnessed fucking magic, dude. That shit gave me chills. Thanks, dude. Hey, dude, that was
thank you for having me.
That's a beautiful song, and damn, dude, I wish we had more time. I'm gonna have you back on.
I would be ecstatic to come back as much as you'd have me.
Yeah, dude. I hope everybody learned a lot from this today, because I know I did. And like I said, please check out your video. How can they find the episodes?
You search on Renegade. Search on YouTube. Viva la Renegade. You search my name, Theophile Bourgeois. I believe I know my Instagram handle was up there, but if you follow me on Instagram, that'll be the hub that connects. I promote the lodge, the music, the art, the web series, all of it. But Renegade with Theophile Bourgeois on YouTube. I know it's a long, crazy Cajun name to spell out, but if you Google it enough, we'll figure it out. But thank you for having me, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brother. And look, guys, if you all enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe and share this episode and just all of it, because we're trying to bring more New Orleans locals, Louisiana boys, everybody involved. We're just trying to spread the wealth and the love and really the creativity and the art, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I got tongue tied at the end, but
that's okay, dude.
Yeah, dude. I appreciate you. I'm still, I can't wait to listen to that.
That's
again.
why I make music.
Yeah, bro.
That's why we make art.
I wish I could fucking sing, but until next time, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the episode, and thank you.
Thank you, dude.